You know, someone in chat just brought this up, Cullen_S, before the introductions. We had someone come to our chat last time I was casting and complain that the introductions were misleading. And I'm like, how? In what way could a map introduction be misleading? Like if I played the Frost introduction for Yansu maybe? Or like vice versa? But yeah, I don't know. Someone complained that like map intros were like misleading and hated that we were playing them, and I was like, okay, dude, whatever. Go live in whatever world you live in, because that doesn't make any sense to me. Anyways, we are in game number 2. It is the quarterfinals of the ZOTAC Cup. I am Rifkin, joined today by Blisk, and spawning in the lower left corner of the map, not the ex-Evil Geniuses player, but the Korean known as Indra.
And then top right-hand corner, who finally split his probes now, it is from, not ESC, but Arthur. In the Protoss
Look,
faces.
Blisk, if a joke doesn't work the first time, and it doesn't work the second time, don't go for it the third time. It's like the Ling.
Keep trying.
You know what?
You keep trying.
Hang on. No, it's like the Ling All In game number 1 of this series. If it doesn't work the first time, and it still doesn't work the second time, don't go for a Nidus Worm and try to make it work a third time.
Like, has it been used too much?
What?
That joke?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just being a butthole right now. So I do want to give some real props to Indra though. Like legitimately, the Nidus Worm, all jokes aside, like that was actually a pretty cool move. That if Arthur had been maybe any other build caught off guard by it, perhaps he thought that the Ling All In had done more damage than it really did. I hope Indra's not just going to try and go for another all in this game though, because as we saw, Arthur held that off quite nicely.
Yeah. Usually after one all-in, Zergs get compelled to do a second, or wait, is the word compelled? Like they won't want to do a second all-in if the first one gets held really easily.
Yeah. Compelled is not the word. Deterred,
okay.
I guess? I don't know, like, because compelled would mean you'd want to do it again. like,
okay.
But more so.
My bad.
It's kind of the opposite effect of I think what you were going for, but
yes.
Yansu's a map that it's really easy to, in my opinion, it's a lot easier to control the Protoss' third base on this map than it is most other maps, especially if you're willing to go for something like swarm hosts. The area around the central part of the map really lets you split your swarm hosts out, quite frankly, really nicely.
Yeah. I mean, as a Protoss, you can, I mean, I've seen players go for that bottom base instead of that high ground base, but both are actually really good. Like I favor to take that high ground base because you have that rock, you have the rock tower, you collapse it, and basically there's only one ramp that you can come up from.
But it's it's not too difficult.
You have to swing around. Yeah.
I mean, the rocks can be taken care of too, but yeah, no, you bring up a good point. It can be a little bit more secure depending on how the game progresses, but
yeah.
One thing we gotta talk about here is, like, you know, we're hoping Indra doesn't go for some sort of crazy yell, and we gotta keep in mind, guys, Arthur's a player who is he's incredibly well known for his 2-base all-ins, and to be honest, he's got some of the most creative ones that have inspired some very interesting tactics, I think, to say the least. One of my favorites to watch Arthur do is, of course, you know, the sentries and the warp prism, but more importantly than that, I love anytime he goes for Void Ray base snipes. I don't know how many times anyone's got to see that, but typically he'll make like 4 Void Rays, go with the Mothership Core, snipe off the main, and then just recall out. It is such a dick move.
Yeah. Catches a lot of the Zergs off guard if they don't scout quickly or make.
Well, it does, because it's who does that other than Arthur, right? Like, there's not a lot of people who make that their go-to.
Yeah, I guess.
Looking like
there are a couple, but not many. Of course, not many. And
yeah, I mean, like your typical 2-base all-in.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised he went for double gas so early though, but probably because he finally gets the speed. Is like 80 gas slow on that speed. I'm wondering what he's thinking about. Okay, grabs the layer, and 2-base layer. Let's see.
If this is quick Mutalist, this will actually work really fantastic against what Arthur's setting up to do.
I actually think it'll be Swarm Host Nidus.
I don't.
Three spines?
Okay, you know what? Actually, I take that back. This might actually be Swarm Host Nidus now.
Yeah,
because you usually get
the amount of queens.
Well, not just the queens, but the amount of spine cars coming down. Usually, this is what you do because you don't want to make other defense Like, you don't want to make Zerglings, you don't want to make Roaches, but coming here with these Zealots, +1 is not quite done yet, but this is still that aggressive push that Arthur was really looking to knock down a third base, not be given free reign into the natural, and Indra, he's got 16 Lings on the way, but the Queens have already been killed, 2 of them.
Oh, the Lings aren't even going to be enough here.
No,
like, 3 more Zealots on the way.
The Queen needs to finish off the Mothership Core really badly. There we go. That takes away a good chunk of the power from this push, but Zealot's still standing pretty strong. There's 3 Spine Cores now to hold off further aggression, but Indra's already taken some pretty irritating losses, to say the least.
Yeah. Now to say, it was a good move by him to try to snipe the Mothership Core at first, but Arthur was on top of that, and he just microed it back so easily. And his Zealots here are dealing a lot of damage. He's already killed 11 workers here, along with 1, 2, 3,
but this
3
is,
queens, I think.
This is kind of the end of the aggression for Arthur, though. There's not.
And here
no
we see the infestation pit. Actually, I'm surprised you say spine crawlers. Like, how's he actually gonna get the spine crawlers across the map in time?
No, these are meant to hold off things like that push, like what just happened. But Arthur came so early that they weren't done yet. Typically, what you will do, though, and you will see players do this, is they'll bring like 2 or 3 drones and build on the other side of this. But a large portion of this has been, I don't want to say killed, but stopped by losing those queens. You, as a player who goes to a Nidus Swarm, you need queens to pick off observers, to transfuse the Nidus Swarm to keep it alive, or keep the Swarm host alive, and unfortunately, not going to be able to do either. 3 sentries coming across the map. This is that Warp Prism move I was talking about out of Arthur. Going to drop these down here and completely just wall off the natural base, and quite frankly, this could be it for Indra if, oh, nope, Lings underneath this too are going to be fantastic.
Yep, really quick reaction there. Sees the Warp Prism at the last second with the Creep Tumor, and immediately runs his Lings there to deny the Warpins.
So I thought this was going to be a Nidus Swarm as well. I'm guessing he's changed his plans, but still sticking with the Swarm host.
Yeah.
Swarm hosts are not bad, though. I mean, in defensive scenarios like this, but I mean, even then, this is an inefficient way to play the game as a Zerg player. Third base now on the way, might get canceled by these Zealots, heading right to it. Sentries dropping towards the mineral line, still gonna find a good spot to take a bit of a fight, as awkward as this is.
Oh, and it's warped in 6 Zealots, but those Swarm hosts, those Locusts deal really well against Zealots.
Ooh, but
he's pounding down the infestation pit. I think it's gonna go down. He needs to transfuse it right now. He's so much energy.
No, it's gonna die. So no more Swarm hosts after this first bit. Even the Enduring Locust is killed, and it looks like that third base was not actually canceled but killed, going off the resources lost. Go for the spawning pool next. He's not going to get this one, of course, but with all these units in the main, if Arthur could get a force field on that natural ramp now, that could be devastating. Realizing this is a possibility, Indra running these Lings down here to the natural immediately.
Yeah, and his third did get cancelled by the pack of Zealots.
Yeah, that's
previously as well.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about a moment ago, but
oh, right.
Yeah, the Colossus follow-up to this, Blink on the way. Like, Arthur is still playing the macro game behind this. This isn't like the 2-base all-in where you focus and tunnel and waste all your resources. I like Indra's choice to double expand. I actually really, really like this a lot. But unfortunately, he still doesn't have like roaches out or anything like that. Relying purely on Lings. Defending this 4th base, not likely. He's going to have to cancel this, I'd imagine. So actually, I take that back. With the Swarm host, he may be able to just push this back. But still, a lot of Zealots is a lot of damage, and Arthur just going to look for any opportunity to keep harassing.
He's going to kill off 1 sentry, which is already really, really good. And looks like he's
pick up the other one, pick up the other one!
Oops. The Locust still doing damage here, but once those Locusts expire...
It's such a low number, too. Like,
yeah.
Like, that's 4 Locusts at a time. It's not enough to stop it. Observer now sees everything here, too, so he could walk on top of this if he wants to, but obviously not going to want to. Now trying to go back towards the main one more time. Zealots could, again, focus on the infestation bit. It's only just finishing up. But that's a lot of Zerglings they're going to have to chew through first.
Yep.
Now, with +1...
Chambers going down.
Well, as one knows, your +1 on these Zealots are, of course, allowed them to just slaughter the Zerglings. The Zerglings are basically useless in this scenario, but the Locusts are proving to be fantastic.
And Arthur just jumping about this cliff basically to harass the main, followed by the 4th, the main, followed by the 4th, and yeah, Indra's just seen that and decided not to go for the 4th because he knows he can't hold that with the units he currently has up. he either needs more swarm hosts to have a constant stream towards the 4th, or else he needs upgrades on his links.
Now, granted, Indra is doing some weird stuff this game. This is not your typical PvZ, but Arthur's still making this look kind of easy as far as controlling the game goes. That being said, going for blind Colossus like this, unguarded Colossus, I think it's a better way to phrase that. He's got some Blink Stalker, well, he's got Blink Tech, but no Blink Stalkers available just yet. I'm a little worried about that Spire change. Like, Corruptors are so good at taking them out, and if you've got enough Swarm Hosts on the ground with these Locusts, the Stalkers aren't going to be blinking into the Corruptors anytime soon. Ooh,
the thing about how Arthur is playing is that he's putting on so much aggression, and through this aggression, not only does he know exactly where Indra's army will be, he also knows exactly what tech he's going. But the Spire was pretty fresh.
Third base dies again.
Yeah, third base. Yeah, Arthur just doing a really good job with this pressure. Like, through this constant pressure, Indra just can't put on pressure of his own. So he kind of has to deal with the units that Arthur has. And Arthur warping in 6 High Templars, going to go for Archons here. Yep. Behind it probably, and his army is just perfect to deal with these Swarm Hosts. Just needs to force field the Locusts off, kill the Locusts off with one very quick.
Well, he's got that Colossus count too. Like, he can just push through the Locust wave even. He doesn't even have to, like, force field or do gimmicky tactics. Like, he could just push. And I feel with Indra, who's been stuck on 2 bases for so long, he's got no upgrades. I mean, +1's on the way, but that's on the way. Corruptor. Yeah.
Just one Corruptor. One to take on them all.
This is not looking good for our Blizzard player, if we're gonna be honest.
Yeah. And he could even force field that off to take on the Natural here.
And we'll segment that off entirely.
Yeah, that one Colossus doing damage here. Slowly chipping off of that one Colossi.
Well, Archon breaks the force fields.
Where's
the Observer?
Finally comes back. Yeah.
Yeah.
One Colossi actually goes down. Wow. The second Colossi gonna go down
I don't think it matters at this point. There's just not enough left.
There's just too many. And Zealots in the natural, Zealots in the main. This is basically game, and Arthur's gonna take the 2-0 here. Proceed on to the semifinals. GG.
And again, guys, Arthur made that look easy.
Yeah, it.
But even despite the weird tactics, he could have gotten caught off guard at any point. Indra unfortunately just couldn't pull it out. That was a really quick series though, guys, so we may have to wait a little bit for an opponent, as it doesn't look like any of the other matches are completed just yet. So we may end up following Arthur and me try and catch something else. For now though, we will toss up some ads while I go refill my water and whatnot. So thanks again for tuning in, everybody. I hope you're having a wonderful morning or afternoon, depending on where you are, or I guess late evening if you're Blisk, or what time is it for you actually?
It's midnight, like 12:23 a.m.
Yikes.
The next day, of course.
Alright, well anyways, we'll be back in a few moments, guys. Thanks for watching.